Amelia traced her fingers over the worn pages of her spellbook. Her small cottage was filled with the scent of herbs and the flickering light of candles. She was just beginning her journey as a witch, learning the ancient ways from her grandmother. The forest surrounding their cottage held secrets, whispers of magic that called to her. Each day brought new lessons, new challenges. Amelia embraced them all, her heart filled with a yearning to help others. One crisp autumn afternoon, a raven with feathers as dark as midnight landed on her windowsill. Its obsidian eyes held an urgency that sent shivers down Amelia's spine. In its beak, the raven carried a tightly rolled parchment, sealed with a crimson wax emblem. Amelia recognized the emblem instantly. It belonged to the elder witch of Oakhaven, a village nestled deep within the heart of the forest. Her heart pounded as she unfurled the parchment and began to read. The elegant script of the elder witch spoke of a terrible darkness that had fallen upon Oakhaven. The days were growing shorter, the nights colder. The villagers were plagued by nightmares, their crops withered and died. Fear had gripped their hearts, casting long shadows over their once peaceful lives. The elder witch suspected a malevolent force at work, a darkness that threatened to consume their village entirely. She pleaded for Amelia's help, her words laced with desperation. Amelia didn't hesitate. Gathering her spellbook, a pouch filled with potent herbs, and a heart full of determination, she prepared for the journey to Oakhaven. Her grandmother, her eyes filled with a mixture of pride and concern, embraced her tightly. "Be careful, Amelia," she whispered, her voice hoarse with emotion. "Darkness can be seductive, but your heart is pure. Trust your instincts and remember your training." With a deep breath and a whispered prayer for guidance, Amelia mounted her trusty steed, a gentle mare named Luna. Together, they rode out of the cottage and into the deepening shadows of the forest, their path illuminated by the soft glow of the setting sun. As the trees closed in around them, their branches twisting and turning like gnarled fingers, Amelia couldn't shake the feeling that she was riding into the heart of something ancient and unknown. The journey to Oakhaven was long and arduous. The forest, usually alive with the sounds of birdsong and rustling leaves, was eerily silent. The air grew heavy with an oppressive presence that seemed to seep into Amelia's bones. She pressed onwards, her resolve hardening with each passing mile. As she drew closer to Oakhaven, the darkness intensified. The trees were bare, their branches twisted and gnarled as if in pain. The air was thick with the stench of decay. Finally, she reached the outskirts of the village. A thick fog hung low to the ground, obscuring the houses and the worried faces of the villagers. The once vibrant heart of Oakhaven was now shrouded in an unnatural gloom. Amelia dismounted Luna, her hand resting on the pommel of her riding whip for reassurance. She could feel the darkness pressing in on her, attempting to suffocate her with its icy grip. She drew strength from the herbs that hung heavy in her pouch, their pungent aroma a reminder of the magic that flowed through her veins. With her senses heightened, Amelia delved deeper into the village. She spoke with the villagers, their voices hushed with fear, their faces etched with despair. They told her of the nightmares that plagued their sleep, of the shadows that danced at the edge of their vision. They spoke of a malevolent presence that lurked in the heart of the forest, a presence that fed on their fear and despair. Amelia listened intently, her heart heavy with their plight. She knew that she had to confront the source of this darkness, to banish it from Oakhaven and restore peace to the village. Section 4. A New Dawn, a Long Road. Guided by the whispers of the wind and the faint traces of dark magic that clung to the air, Amelia ventured into the heart of the forest. The closer she got to the source of the darkness, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. The trees groaned and swayed, their branches reaching out towards her like grasping claws. She could feel the presence of the corrupted spirit, its malevolent energy radiating outwards like a beacon of despair. Amelia drew upon her training, her voice strong and clear as she chanted the ancient words of banishment. The air crackled with energy as she called upon the power of the earth, the wind and the stars. The forest around her seemed to hold its breath as the battle between light and darkness raged. The corrupted spirit, a swirling vortex of shadows and despair, fought back with ferocious intensity. It lashed out at Amelia with tendrils of darkness, attempting to break her concentration, to snuff out the light that she carried within her. But Amelia stood firm, her resolve unwavering. She poured all of her strength, all of her willpower into her magic. And then, with a final surge of energy, Amelia unleashed the full force of her spell. The forest erupted in a blinding flash of light and a deafening roar. The darkness that had held Oakhaven captive for so long shattered, breaking apart into a million fragments that dissipated into the night. The air cleared, the oppressive weight that had cloaked the forest lifted. Silence descended, broken only by the sound of Amelia's ragged breathing and the gentle chirping of crickets in the newfound peace. Section 5. A New Dawn. A Long Road continued. Amelia emerged from the forest, her face and robes smudged with dirt and sweat, her heart pounding in her chest. She returned to Oakhaven, where the villagers greeted her with tears of relief and gratitude. The darkness had lifted, the nightmares had ceased, and the warmth of the sun once again touched their skin. As Amelia watched the villagers celebrate their newfound freedom, she couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. She had faced a powerful darkness and emerged victorious. Yet beneath her triumph, Amelia felt a profound sense of humility. She realized that her journey as a witch was far from over. The battle for Oakhaven had been but a taste of the challenges that lay ahead. There were still so many things she didn't know, so many ways she needed to grow. But as she looked out at the smiling faces of the villagers, she knew that she had chosen the right path. She was a witch, and her life's purpose was to use her gifts to help those in need, to fight for what was right, and to bring light to the darkest corners of the world. And Amelia, with a heart full of courage and a spirit that refused to be broken, was ready to face whatever challenges the future held.